What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of Curry, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. I thought that after the Air Jordan 3 Knicks video, we were done discussing how much Jordan Brand was trolling everybody out here, but apparently we are not done yet talking about how Jordan Brand is not only trolling, but also taking advantage of the hype train on certain sneakers. And today's sneaker is no different. Without further ado, let's take a look. Now, today, of course, it's no secret. You can tell from the title of this video. We are taking a look at a Jordan 1 that we thought was a part of a very popular series of Jordan 1s, only to find out later on that I'm going to tell you guys today may not be the case. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 1 Black and Orange, otherwise known as the Shattered Backboard 3.0. Now, before we actually get into the shoe, I just wanted on the record that from the moment I first saw this shoe, I hated it, and I still hate it now. This is one of, in my opinion, the worst releases of 2019 so far. I get what they're trying to do. We'll talk about what they did, but it's just not happening for me. I know this is a shoe that a lot of y'all hated at first, and now all of a sudden, because there was some money in it, all of a sudden everybody thought that they were a great looking shoe. But no, not for me. All right, starting with the upper of the shoe, all patent leather against that orange and black color blocking on the upper of the shoe. You get this orange wrapping around the collar of the shoe, you get the orange around the heel, you get the orange on the swooshes on the lateral and medial side, and you get the orange on the toe box against that black. You have an embossed black wings logo on the lateral side of the shoe. So the shoe, all in all, is supposed to look like a vintage worn shoe. That's why it's all wrinkled up like this. It's supposed to look like a shoe that's super old, but the fact that they have this shine against it with the patent leather is supposed to make it look frozen in time, like this vintage shoe is frozen in time forever. Now, it's also a testament to why the midsole and the outsole of the shoe are this off-white color. The outsole and the midsole is supposed to represent a really vintage looking worn out sole. So of course it gets old over time, it turns yellowish over time, and the color of the midsole and the outsole is supposed to represent that, making it look even more vintage. On the insole of the shoe, all black insole with that orange Nike Air OG logo right on the heel. On the tongue of the shoe, you get the classic Air Jordan 1 OG nylon tongue with the black tag with the orange writing. Black standard laces with these, but you also get this orange set of laces as well if you want to swap them out. The orange actually looks a little better than the black in my opinion, so it might be a dope idea to swap them out and see what happens. And honestly, that's pretty much it when it comes to the shoe itself. Now, let's dig a little bit more into the story behind this shoe, and I might disappoint a few of you guys when the truth comes out, but it's what I'm here for. This shoe is not a part of the Shattered Backboard legacy or the Shattered Backboard line of shoes. The wrinkles in the leather are not made to look like shattered glass, and even though the colorway is similar to the Shattered Backboard line that we got a couple of years ago, this sneaker is not an addition to the Shattered Backboard lineage. Yes, I get that the color blocking is very similar with the orange and black representing the colors that Michael Jordan wore during the Nike exhibition game overseas when he shattered the backboard. I get that part, but one thing we also have to take into consideration is that Jordan Brand and Nike are very specific when it comes to storytelling behind their sneakers. And what was the story behind this one? If you look in the sneakers app, you'll notice with the Air Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard OGs and with the Air Jordan 31 Shattered Backboard, they specifically say Shattered Backboard. Now, one pair says Shattered Backboard away, the other pair says Shattered Backboard, but the insole has a graphic of that Shattered Backboard with that rim on it. And the narrative behind the shoe is very specific to that story, complete with video clips and more history about Michael Jordan in that game and how the Shattered Backboard actually happened. Now, my question here is, with this shoe, did we get any of that narrative in the sneakers app about Shattered Backboard? Let's take a look. Nope. Looks like to me they're just calling this the black and orange Air Jordan 1, and they go on to talk about what happened with the whole vintage look. However, when the resellers saw this shoe and they kind of thought that it might look like a shattered backboard, somebody on the internet started coining the term Shattered Backboard 3.0. It caught fire and everybody started calling it the new Shattered Backboard. Now here's the deal. When you look at how much the Shattered Backboards are worth right now, $1,000 for the OGs, around $800 for the reverse Shattered Backboards, Why in the world would Nike, knowing how much hype is behind that story of shattered backboard, why would they try to sell you something else? Nike would just go along with the flow and say, yeah, sure, if you think these are shattered backboards, go for it. If whatever it takes to make you buy them, you guys got it. So it helped the resellers a lot more by calling this the shattered backboard, because just that name alone drove up a little bit more hype. It made people want them a little more. Nike saw that the sneaker was going to sell out very quickly because people thought that it was a shattered backboard and thought that it would be worth just as much money as the other shattered backboard. So Nike's going to sell all the shoes, resellers are going to make their money, everybody's happy. But again, this sneaker was never actually intended to be a shattered backboard release. Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with the shattered backboard story. It's just a black and orange Jordan 1. Now, coincidentally, it's coming out right around Halloween, which is why I think they chose now to release the sneaker, this black and orange Jordan 1. But outside of that, there's really no correlation with Halloween or with anything else. It's just a unique story on yet another Jordan 1 that they happen to bring out at just the right time with just the right amount of hype around it. So I take that back. I really can't say that Jordan Brand trolled us with this one. They just stayed really quiet about selling us what the actual story behind this sneaker was, because the resellers and the other people in the market actually made the sneaker a lot more hyped up. And I think that says a lot with where we are right now in the culture. And of course, I use that word a little loosely, but again, it looks like the people who are hyping the shoes up the most are the ones with the loudest voices, sometimes even louder than the brand itself. Now, kudos to Nike for knowing when to pull back and pump the brakes and to let the resellers have their way to drive up the hype of the sneaker. It's free marketing for Nike, and they made their money at the end of the day. I just think that it's pretty hilarious how many people actually hated this shoe when it first came out, with up to and including photos of James Brown all sweaty, calling this sneaker every name in the book, talking about how ugly it looked, looking like it had Vaseline slapped all over the shoe. And you guys dogged this shoe out for months. But yet when you guys saw that it was worth $400, $500, $600, now all of a sudden everybody loves them. Isn't that something? But enough of me talking. With all of that in mind now, tell me down in the comments below, does that change your opinion of the Air Jordan 1 black and orange, aka the shattered backboard 3.0? Does that not affect the hype behind the shoe and how much you really wanted it, knowing that this sneaker has nothing to do with the shattered backboard lineage and the shattered backboard story? Do you still like the way that the shoe looks, and do you still want to rock it knowing that it is not a shattered backboard? Or does that now change your opinion of the shoe? Sound off down below. Let me know what your thoughts on these. I'm really interested to hear. Of course, while you're down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button. We would love to welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more any more shoes like this. But I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 1 black and orange, aka the shattered backboard 3.0. And until next time, I'm out.